Hello, this is Hooked by Happenstance, and I'm Kendra, and it is Sunday night once again, which means it's time for my Sunday sunrise, week 34. Week 34. For those of you that are new, my Sunday sunrise is my solution to New Year's resolutions, where rather than making a bunch of goals in January that I was unlikely to follow through on, I make goals week by week. So I come and see you on a Sunday, talk through a few of my goals and why I chose to make them. Then we meet up a week-ish later and I tell you how I did. And we make some goals for the coming week, try to shed some light on the crafty choices I made and whether they were good or not. And I decide whether I'm going to lather, rinse, and repeat a list and basically do the same thing all over again, or whether I'm going to change it up. So let's begin with last week's list. Using my old standby of the big marker tiny paper so I can't overcommit, which I still seem to overcommit. Last week I was planning to update my shop twice, and I did kind of. I was working on my Seeds of Kindness bag club and found some extra fabric in the mix, so I put some of those bags up in the shop. So that's one update. And then I just updated today with a bunch of Halloween and autumnal prints. So if those are your jam, go check it out. Shop.hookedbyhappenstance.com if you're interested in those things. The next thing on my list was to work on the curtains for my office. Those didn't happen. I didn't do any personal, I did some prototype sewing. So that was personal sewing-ish, personal to become shop, but I did not work on any of the sewing for my office this week. Just didn't happen. The third thing was to do some focused whittling of my on the hook list, which I did. I tried to pick projects from that list. I also did let the desire to start some things new strike me, because I've been so good and I haven't really started much in the last couple of weeks, and I am just kind of barreling my way through those, so I figure I'm just going to go with it. If stuff is getting done and I'm getting other things done on top of it, that's fine. Like I said, I did not get that many items on my on the hook list all at once. They're not going to come off all at once either. It's going to be a whittling process, a slow scraping away of the items on the list, kind of as the mood strikes me, because some of those projects do require me to be in the right headspace to work on them. There's 4 items on there that are being put aside for September because I'm going to do a Scraptember where I'm going to work on all projects made out of scraps. I mean, I might do some other things too, but primarily I'm trying to get the 4 projects that I'm currently working on that are made out of scraps done, and I have a couple other scrappy projects put aside. Can you hear my wind chimes out the window? I was trying to figure out what that noise was. It's the wind chimes. So if you can hear them and it sounds like a clattering sound, that's what it is. And the fourth thing that was on my list for last week was to weave in some ends on my projects so that I could film a Makes Monday podcast, which I totally did. I wove in ends on hats and my Uella shawl, and so they're done, and that's good. I do still need to take some pictures of the hat so that I can put the pattern up on Patreon, but that will happen and it will get up there by the beginning of September. So, okay, on to this week, week 34's list. I'm going to go back to my plan of picking like the 4 main areas of my crafty life and assigning a goal to each. I know that this week's gonna be a little wonky. We're starting dance class and some other activities and things kind of for the year, so it's going to be a little bit busier around here, more out of the house, more getting into a new groove. So I'm trying to be gentle with myself and admit that there might not be as much of my crafty stuff getting done, and that's totally fine. I just need to accept it. But I also have some time that I'm going to have in places like during dance classes and such, where I'm going to have some hours where I'm like stuck somewhere out of the house sitting, so I need to have a plan for how to spend that time, right? Other than just like wrangling children, but on the crafty front, how I'm going to spend that time. So I was going to like cut back. I was worried that maybe I've been making too many goals. Maybe the reason I haven't been getting all of them completed is because there's too many. Maybe I only need 3, not 4. But then I really started thinking about it for the week. There's 4-ish areas that I want to do stuff in, so I decided we're going to put them on the list, and they are things that I'm going to be focusing my energy toward. Whether or not they are completed is, you know, neither here nor there. That is where my energy is going to be funneled and it's not so much about finishing, but rather working on these projects. So the first area is my shop. The Seeds of Kindness Mystery Project Bag Club comes out the first Monday in September. The signups have already closed, except I do have one large handled project bag set still available. It's up in the shop. If you go and check the shop and it's not there, it has already been purchased by somebody else. But if you want to get your hands on it, go check that out. There's a link in the description if you want. The second thing that I need to work on is for my channel here. I'd like to put 4-ish videos out this week. I put 4 videos out last week. I was going to say 4-ish, but no, it was 4. There was a Sunday Sunrise, a Makes Monday, a Let Peach Lip Pick, and a Freaker Frog. It will not be those same 4 videos this week, I don't think, but it might be. We'll see. So there will be this Sunday Sunrise, a Makes Monday, and then we'll see what I decide to do for the other 2. It's, you know, up to me. So that's kind of fun. It's a bit of structure and choice combined, which makes everybody happy, right? Then as far as to-do crafting, so things that will help me forward my goals of getting the things done that I want to get done. I have a couple of projects that just need their ends woven in, and then they can come off my on the hook list. So I'm going to put those in a bag and take them with me on the various things we do this week. That way I can be weaving in ends when I'm sitting in the car, because that's something I can do that won't take up too much space and stuff. I also want to put more work into the top that Peach Lip picked for me last week, because I just barely started it. And I haven't done much work on it because I've been taken over by the last thing on my list, which is fun crafting. I started making a sweater. It had not begun as a sweater. It has become a sweater. I'm obsessed with this sweater. I want it not only to work on it, because I'm enjoying that, but I want like the finished product. Not that I can wear it yet. It's still too hot, but I want to know it exists. So that is the thing on my list, because since that's like the current passion project, the thing that feels really good and that I want to be doing, it deserves to be on the list, and it deserves to have me spend as much time as I want on it, because you do have to find some projects that really like bring you some joy. It can't all be a slog. If it is, you're doing it wrong. And not that all of these other things are a slog. They're just not always the thing that is just gnawing at my brain that I want to be doing. Some of them I have to remind myself. It's kind of like, it's not that fruit and vegetables don't taste good, but you need to like remind yourself that maybe you should eat them and not just bread. I don't know. You know what I mean? Everything in moderation. So I suggest that you take a few minutes and think about your week ahead. Decide whether or not you can take on some lofty goals this week, or whether, again, you need to be gentle with yourself and pick some things that you know are fully accomplishable. If it's a week where you need to be more gentle with yourself, try and lean into those good feeling projects, because then you are more likely to get them done, because we like to do what feels good. It's just the way it is. On the screen next to me, you will find a link to some other videos from here on the channel, as well as a link to subscribe so that these videos will just pop up into your feed as I put them out. There's also a link to my daily vlog channel if that's something you're into. And like I said in the description box down below is the link to that shop, as well as my Patreon. And I will see you all next time. Bye!